haven't got up so early for a while. Today is a special day. We're gonna do a survey.
What a great name for this boat, Speedy. It's going 75 miles an hour down I-10. Speedy's in a hurry. Speedy's got somewhere to be. So the flagpole on the transom has always had a bit of a wobble and made noise. And one day it was quite windy, so I decided today I'm going to have a quick win. I'm just going to fix the wobble in the flagpole. I assumed I would just have to tighten the mount. But like many projects, at least 80% of the projects, they don't go as planned. That's interesting. 2 Phillips heads and 1 hex bolt holding this guy in. Didn't realize that. And the left side of the port side Phillips is already stripped out. I believe these Phillips are larger size diameter, and the threads were actually probably already stripped out, and they just stuck something bigger in there, knowing they'd get a little bit of bite, at least for one shot. Anyway, we will decide what to do with this later. Like many other projects, it's on the later list. Later, Gator. All right, I managed to get the mount off using a combination of Phillips head for the super loose one, vice grips for the super tight one of these, and then an Allen wrench for this particular Allen wrench. And then it's getting ready to rain, so just to keep water from getting in there, we'll put that on temporarily. Now it's off to research helicoil and time certs. So please let me know in the comments if you think you have a good idea for how to solve this. It's been about 2 weeks. The blue tape is still on the transom. The flagpole is not up. I'm trying to figure out the best way to reattach that. I could drill out the holes, rethread the 6mm plate, and just bolt into those threads in the 6mm. I could move the mount somewhere where there's the ability to get to the backside and actually put some bolts on the backside and kind of fill in those holes from the other mount. I could put an insert in there like a helicoil or a time cert. I could use a riv nut and go that path. I kind of like that one. So anyway, if you've got thoughts, let me know in the comments. These things came out of a box in the battery room that was full of water. This is the container it was in. Literally had 4 inches of water in it. Most of the stuff is completely ruined. It was all generator related, breakers and relays. A little bit of stuff for the Dometic air conditioning units that weren't ruined, but for the most part a total loss, probably about $1,000, maybe $1,500 worth of spares, rusted. Right, Creamy? Yeah, what do you think, Creamy? Rusted? It's our second day at the boat. The first day we did a Costco run, loaded up on all sorts of food and bath mats and stuff like that. And today we did an IKEA run, mainly because we needed a new mattress. The mattress that is in the main cabin is too soft for us. So we got a nice firm IKEA mattress. Well, we are installing our new IKEA extra firm mattress. And there's the old mattress, which was a Casper. It's actually really nice, but it's too soft for us. The bottom layer of foam, though, could be useful for some cushions. We will see. Don't know if there's such thing as marine foam. Hi, darling.
Yep, second-hand in Costco.
We had a survey done as part of the purchase process. It was done at Lauderdale Marine Center, LMC, there in Fort Lauderdale. It was a pretty windy day. This is about 10:30 in the morning, and it took a few back and forths to get positioned properly for the lifts, but it all went very, very smooth. Captain did a great job. The next step was the divers getting in there and making sure that the slings were in the right place, weren't going to hit any skegs or fins or anything like that. And that all went quite smooth as well. All right, so they just brought the boat over for the haul out during the survey. It's about 10:30. divers who are checking to make sure the straps are in a good place before they pull it up. You can see on the left side of this lift, it's called Bertha. This is one of the larger lifts at LMC for large or heavier boats. Right now it's lifting about 100 tons. The video is sped up about 10x. Everything is slow and meticulous. Eventually they get it high enough and they start rolling forward over the dock. In our case, they just put 2 blocks underneath the keel and for the most part just keep it supported in the slings for the actual survey. So here's some good shots of the underwater parts of the boat. You can see the twin props, the 2 fairly large rudders, a large keel skeg in the middle to keep help with tracking, the Naiad stabilizers. We just passed the exhaust. You can see the opening here for the bow thruster, and the coatings in general are pretty good condition, but it does look like there's many layers, so we're probably going to deal with that sometime soon as well. This is the good thing about having 2 people taking video. I didn't get any of this footage of the underbody, but luckily Lily got really both sides, the entire underwater portion of the boat. The out-of-the-water survey probably took about 2 hours. They were inspecting props and shafts and rudders and thruster and doing some thickness measurements on the aluminum hull plating, checking out the condition of the underwater coatings and paint, stuff like that. So all told, that took about 2 hours. And then it was back down the New River. Now, it's not uncommon to use these small tugs when navigating this river because it's really tight and wiggly. But the current, or the existing captain, had been on this boat for quite a while, so he was pretty confident doing it with just him and his crew, his main guy. I'm not speeding this up because it really is beautiful chugging down from LMC out to the ocean on the New River. So the New River is pretty tight and quite wiggly, curvy, but the other thing that makes it tricky is all of the bridges that you have to wait for them to be opened. So you're constantly having to just kind of stop and make sure you stay in the channel. And then the other thing that happens is traffic. So here's a large boat with tugs that's coming up river through this bridge, and we're having to just pop over to the side here and wait for him to pass through before we can make it. All quite tricky, but like I said, this particular captain really did a great job. These little tugs that help move boats up and down the New River are quite amazing also. They look so small and inconspicuous, but they're kind of like icebergs. They have a lot below the waterline. Powerful engines, large props, and very skilled operators, and basically one at the bow, and you'll see one here at the stern, and they can maneuver 100, 150-foot boats up and down the New River like it's nothing. The one in the stern tends to always go backwards or be pointing astern. Once we cleared the New River, we kept heading out towards the ocean along the Stranahan River. On the way out, we passed a container ship called the Sonderborg. It's about a 450-foot long container ship. We were kind of racing it for a little while. We were maybe doing 10 or 11 knots. But once we cleared this jetty, the container ship obviously had somewhere it wanted to be, and it just pulled away from us very, very quickly. On the sea trial, we probably spent about 30 minutes bopping around. We were checking things like the stabilizers, so doing hard to port and hard to starboard, making sure the stabilizers were doing their thing. We were getting up the engines to various speeds, 1500, 1800, 2100 RPM, and checking operation and temperature, and just in general putting the boat through the paces. we've got one, it's after the survey. We've got an extra day and we're just driving around. We're going to go down to Hallover Inlet State Park and see if we can watch some boats go in and out of the inlet. So that's a short overview of the survey day and some of the things we went through. In a future video, I'll share some of the results of the survey. We had a hull surveyor or a general surveyor, and then also a specific surveyor for the diesels, the mains, and the generators. So I'll share some of that information with you all. We weren't taking much video back then, so unfortunately we don't have a lot of content to share from those days, but we're getting better. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.